Barack Obama for years rallied his leftist shock troops against George W. Bush, criticizing Bush's endless wars, secret rendition sites, and indefinite detention of suspected terrorists.
I don't oppose war in all circumstances, and when I look out over this crowd today, I know there is no shortage of patriots or patriotism. What I do oppose is a dumb war.
But for all of his seemingly eloquent anti-war rhetoric, Barack Obama, from almost day one of his presidency, has made George W. Bush look like a pacifist. Jeremy Scahill's just-published blockbuster book, Dirty Wars, gives a litany of the so-called anti-war Obama's real record as a warmonger. Targeted killings, warrantless wiretapping, use of secret prisons, a crackdown on habeas corpus rights for prisoners, indefinite detention, drone bombings, use of mercenaries in secret war, and reliance on state secrets privilege. Within a week of ascending to the presidency, Barack Obama took Bush's limited use of signature drone strikes, that is, not being sure of who you were killing, to an unimaginable level. Obama's first parlay into killing by remote control was in South Waziristan, Pakistan. The so-called high-value target, HVT, was apparently missed, and up to 15 civilians were killed, most from one family, including children. The problem? Obama targeted the wrong house. Oops, no worries, just try it again. On June 23, 2009, Obama authorized the use of multiple Hellfire missiles to take out the previously missed high-value target in a funeral procession. According to Dirty Wars, quote, scores of civilians, estimates ranged between 18 and 45, were killed. After the prayers ended, people were asking each other to leave the area as drones were hovering, said a man who lost his leg in the attack. First 2 drones fired 2 missiles. It created a havoc. There was smoke and dust everywhere. Injured people were crying and asking for help. They fired the 3rd missile after a minute, and I fell on the ground. The so-called anti-war president, Barack Hussein Obama, had, in his first 10 months, authorized as many drone strikes as George W. Bush had used in his entire 8 years in office. But this was just the beginning of Barack Hussein Obama's bloodbath, killing hundreds, perhaps thousands of innocent civilians, including a 16-year-old American citizen. Anwar al-Awlaki, an American citizen, was taken out by a drone in Yemen for basically being a propagandist for al-Qaeda. Whether being an American citizen, he should have been given due process is debatable. But 2 weeks after al-Awlaki was killed, according to the book Dirty Wars, his 16-year-old son, Abdul Rahman, also an American citizen, having no ties to terrorism, was killed by a Hellfire missile. But this was just the beginning. Drones were only one chapter in Obama's murderous so-called war against al-Qaeda, which was simply a basis for waging endless wars throughout the world. After Obama's murderous carnage ran its course, on April 16th, an organization called the Constitution Project released the mammoth 600-page study entitled The Report of the Constitution Project's Task Force on Detainee Treatment. Buried in the mainstream media amid the Boston Marathon terror attack the day before, the report came to some shocking conclusions. It in effect makes the case that Barack Hussein Obama, under international law, is guilty of war crimes and should be indicted. Obama is, in the plainest terms, a war criminal. This we'll be covering in detail in a future video.